Vice President Sara Duterte clarified her remarks comparing her father to the late Senator Ninoy Aquino Jr. She also dispelled the impression that she called for President Bongbong Marcos's resignation. Jovi Francisco with the story.
Despite the cold weather, supporters waited outside the Scriveningen prison for any sighting of visiting relatives and allies of former President Rodrigo Duterte. The long wait paid off when Vice President Sara Duterte arrived and talked to them. This was also an opportunity for the VP to clarify some of her statements during Sunday's meet and greet at a park here in The Hague. She's aware that the comparison she made about her father and the late Senator Ninoy Aquino elicited reactions back home.
Ang binabasihan lang natin is kung ano yung nangyari noon. Yung nangyari noon, hindi naman mabura kung ano yung nangyari sa kaysaysayan. Ito ay nagpapakita kung ano yung kapasidad o capacity nila. Hindi naman si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ang nagsasabi na magiging Ninoy siya at ang nagsabi nun ako at hindi si Pangulong Duterte.
Correct.
Those were my fears for the life of my father.
She also corrected impressions that she demanded President Bongbong Marcos to resign, pointing out that it was the supporters who chanted the resignation call and that she just wants them to enumerate their reasons.
Wala akong sinasabi ever na magdapat mag-resign.
Baka totoo kayo.
Ang sinabi ko lang kahapon,
Andun siya kahapon eh.
Nanawagan
Andun siya
kayo
kahapon,
ng
si Maris.
PM Rizal. Bigyan nyo ng rason kung bakit yan ang panawagan ninyo sa kanila. And then I gave them example.
But when asked if she's ready to run and take on the role of chief executive, she gave an uncertain reply.
So mahirap paasahin ang mga tao tapos alam mo namang hindi ka magtatagumpay sa kandidatura mo. So kailangan paniguraduhin na mananalo para nabibigay yung expectation. That we have to see by the numbers and by science and mathematics.
The Vice President will stay in The Hague until the composition of his father's legal team is finalized. But her mother will soon join her in The Hague. And this week, just in time for former President Duterte's 80th birthday, Kitty Duterte and her mother will also arrive at the Netherlands.
Wala man kaming problema, kaming magkakapatid, wala man kaming problema. Yung mga nanay namin may problema.
Reporting from The Hague, Netherlands, Jovi Francisco. We are One News.
Now let's talk to One News Senior Manager Jovi Francisco who joins us live from The Hague in Netherlands. Good morning to you. Mukhang umaga dyan sa background mo. Oo.
Morning, Kristen. Sorry, hindi na ako lumabas kasi kahapon sinabi mo ang tapang ko sa lamig. Well, hindi ako matapang ngayon. Medyo this morning.
Malamig, oo.
I had to stay inside the room para ibigay sa atin yung medyo mahabang ambush interview. Sanay ka naman na mahaba magbigay ng ambush interview si VP Sara dito, no. So marami pa siyang content. Syempre ang niline up natin do sa voice over package na yun are just at least the three controversial statements she made na kailangan niya i-clarify from that meet and greet doon sa park kahapon or Sunday.
Okay, Jovi, napansin ko medyo marami-raming tao, no? Doon sa labas ng Scriveningen prison. What time did you see the Vice President come out of that?
Okay, you know that my target yesterday or earlier today was to seek and ask questions sa lawyer kay Attorney Nick Kaufman, but no show or hindi nagpakita. Siguro talagang hindi mo na siya magsasalita, no? So kaya nagulat kami, malapit na sana yung pack-up dahil pahapon na mga bandang 1:30 na, and biglang dumating si Vice President Sara Duterte. And of course, pag 1:30, she will use up the 2 hours allotted sa visit ng relative. So minaximize niya yun, saka pa lang siya lumabas. Kaya medyo na delikado yung ibang live natin kahapon, Gretchen, dahil kasabay nung live ng mga newscast natin or programs, yung mahabang ambush interview kay Vice President Sara Duterte.
Gusto ko muna puntahan, Jovi, yung mga nilagay mo dun sa iyong VO report. No? Speaking of the reference to Ninoy Aquino Jr., she said that this reflected her own fears for her father's life. Pinaliwanag niya ba yun? Meron bang parang death threat? Bakit ganun? Napunta sa ganun? Na pag-uwi, na baka may mangyari sa kanyang tatay? Why was that reference even mentioned? Or why was it a fear of the Vice President?
Okay, the best answer to that, of course, we can't really include sa mga voice over package sa atin yung buong sound bite or clarification because it was really long, ano. Pero to answer that question kung saan nanggagaling yung fear na yon ay sinabi niya, and we will quote her na lang, ano, Gretchen, para hindi rin tayo masabihan ng angling, ay binabase lang natin or niya yung nangyari noon. Nakita naman natin yung nangyari noon, hindi naman na natin mabubura yung nangyari sa kasaysayan. Itong mga ito ay nagpapakita kung ano ang kapasidad or ang capacity nila to do these kinds of things. So, yun yung kanyang in-imply sa simula nung kanyang sagot sa clarification kung saan ba yung hugot or saan galing although sinasabi niya yun ay galing do sa fear bilang daughter para sa kanyang ama, no, ay kung saan ano yung basis nun. Ang basis nun, I think it's mainly trust sa side ni Vice President Sara Duterte, no, Gretchen, na maraming nasa siguro na experience na hindi maganda doon sa relationship nung dating ka-unity team nila ay kaya meron siyang pagdududa. Parang ganun lumalabas yung kanyang or meat ng kanyang clarificatory statement.
Talking about threats, there was a reported bomb threat in the office of the Vice President. Did she react to that? Did you mention that to her?
She was asked by one of our kasamahan sa media about that, sinabi niya kasi parang ang actually kung hindi niya nasagot magpa-follow up sana ako doon, Gretchen, kasi parang baka may need for her to go back, kasi may mga nagaganap sa kanyang tanggapan or ang OVP. Ang sinabi lang niya merong SOPs in place pag kami magandang threats is nothing new according to her, at alam na nila ng mga kawani na naiwan kung ano yung gagawin, like kung kailangan mag-evacuate, they did evacuate, and she told this story of an applicant who was there during the evacuation and hindi na daw tumuloy doon sa application nung pagsasabit ng application niya or pagpaprocess kasi parang natakot na ganito pala ang sitwasyon dito. So natawa naman yung mga supporters doon, pero yun yung sinasabi niya. At ituloy na natin doon, kasi nga ang dapat na follow-up question doon, Gretchen, ay kung may need ka na ba kayong bumalik ng Pilipinas because of course meron kayong posisyon bilang Vice Presidente, hindi na tanong yon, pero in a way nasagot niya na she will be staying here until hindi nga matapos yung hindi ma-approve yung legal panel ng kanyang father. Yun na, of course, there will be a celebration pa or meron pang okasyon this coming weekend dito because of the birthday of for her father, at parating na rin nga dito yung mga kaanak niya, yung sister niya at saka yung respective mothers nila, Gretchen, so ano ang plan for Friday? They don't want, based on her statement, they don't want to push for another meet and greet na ganyan, na may stage, merong sound system, may mga barricade, saka magsasalita o may mga speaker because it's it only means sa pagkaganyan yung setup, they will need to apply for permits. You know how strict things are here sa The Hague. Hindi naman strict, how orderly they are here, Gretchen. So, pero allowed kasi na kahit na ganyan karaming tao, kung gusto nila mag-picnic lang dyan, without really an occasion na announce at saka walang ganyang system, they can do it. So, ang pinupush ni Vice President ay mag-picnic na lang dyan sa park or kung saan mang venue. At pupuntahan na lang nila yung bawat pagkukumpol na picnic, at pasarapan na lang daw ng pagkain. Kesa daw magkaroon ng organized na katulad niyan, which will need preparation and, of course, permits.
At sabi mo nga, mukhang papunta na si Kitty at saka si Elizabeth Zimmerman dyan. Is there any timeline to that? At may request ba ang dating Pangulo para sa kanyang 80th birthday?
Wala namang specific na request sa sinabi doon, no? May mga, well, yung paulit-ulit na sinasabi na ano, no, brand ng soft drinks na kailangan niya at least twice a day or gusto niya na ma-consume twice a day. Tapos yung Filipino food, medyo give up na siya doon, although nakakain na doon ng rice ulit, ano. Gave up na daw kasi nga hindi pa talaga maalam or hindi pa expertise ng mga nagluluto dito yung at least yung ganong klaseng pagkain natin. Na sinabi nga kahapon sa speech ni Vice President Gretchen ay nagpadala siya ng PDF file or ng ng printout ng kung ano yung pwedeng lutuin ng mga simpleng putahe from the Philippines.
Actually, ang pinaka-curious ako ay kung kompleto na yung mga pangalan ng legal team ng dating Pangulo. I mean, sabi nila meron na silang listahan, but did she give out the actual names, yung mga papapirma niya kay Digong?
She didn't at ang naging ang naging dahilan kung ba't umiiwas sila to name it. Hindi siya basically, well, part lang siya, hindi pati yung si Atty. Kaufman na sabihin to because they don't want us, the media or other agencies to hound them. No, kasi na nag-iingat about it kasi they don't want to reveal the names nga Pero dahil paulit-ulit yung Amos interview since yesterday, nare-realize namin na baka hindi pa talaga kompleto kasi the fact na hindi pa makaalis si Vice President Sara Duterte dito. Diba? Sabi niya ang senyales lang na pwede siyang umalis dito pag talagang kompleto na yung assigned na membership ng legal team nila.
But also that has to be finalized very soon because also of the deadlines. I believe April 4, tama yung...
4 and 11. Yung dalawang panels will have to submit. May mga submissions sila. So kailangan na nila lang buuin yan. And I think kaya siguro hindi rin talaga napagkikita si Atty. Kaufman dito sa vicinity ay dahil mukhang yan ang kailang pinaghahandaan.
Maasahan ba natin na doon sa April 4 at April 11 may mga witnesses o napupunta sa Hague or wala pa yon sa proseso?
Submissions pa lang, Gretchen. Pero syempre yung submissions na yun, di ba nakalagay doon sa notice ng ICC because they want to make sure din na itong mga witnesses na na ililista ay protected na as soon as sila ma-include doon sa roster.
Oo. Jovi, malinaw rin ba kung maaari bang magdagdag in the process? I mean, na kunwari nag-present yung prosecution ng witnesses nila and then along the way, they would continue on adding witnesses to that or pag sinabi ng ito na yun, natanong mo ba yung ganong parte?
Hindi ko natanong pero parang may impression ako na of course siguro sa kakanood natin ng mga legal shows na pwede lalo na kung talagang very vital yung discovery do sa witness na yun I think there are ways of doing it although iba siguro dito sa The Hague and we will try to find out kung anong kaibahan nila. Parang doon sa pakipag-usap natin doon sa panel ng mga lawyers sa kabilang side nung dumating tayo dito. Hindi pala, yung at least yung mga tumutulong sa kanila. Parang maski naman sila parang kumakalap pa lang din sila. Meron na sila, pero sino ba talaga yung malalakas doon na pwedeng sila yung ihanay agad doon?
Because over here in the Philippines, there are calls to establish a justice or truth commission or a safe space for victims to come out at tulungan sila ng gobyerno para maglakas loob na ibigay ang kanilang testimonya. Kaya natin natanong yan. Pero for now, we do know that there's still a lot to come up. So abangan mo na si Nicholas Kaufman muli mamaya pagising mo.
Yeah.
Baka nandiyan ng umaga.
Pwede mo natin isnabin si Senator Amy before tayo mag good morning.
Go ahead.
Because natanong I think that's the last question before natapos yung Amos interview. I remember na parang yun yung mga huli sa mga follow-up. Parang tinanong yung are you concerned na parang mukhang na alis dun sa line-up daw or kaya ay parang tila napapabayaan yung kandidatura ni Senator Amy Marcos. Sabi ng Vice Presidente, siya inalulungkot At well, kasabay niya, nagpapasalamat siya na at least ay meron daw nagbukas ng investigasyon sa Senado tungkol doon sa pagkakaaresto sa kanyang ama. Pero nang tinanong natin or namin ang vice presidente kung ba't hindi pwede bang i-adopt ng Duterte Group si Senator Amy, dahil may sarili na naman silang line-up, ay parang non-committal or sinabi ni Vice President na wala sa mga kamay niya at wala siya magagawa doon. Dahil yung lineup na yun daw, ang may hawak noon ay si former President Duterte at hindi siya. Siya ay pwede lang sumuporta.
Mukhang nakatuon pa rin naman ang Vice Presidente sa mga pangyayari dito. But in the meantime, maraming salamat sa inyong mga update. Tututukan namin yan all throughout our news programs on One News and TV5. Of course, that was Jovi Francisco reporting to us live from The Hague on Morning Matters.